In chapter 14, verses 14 to 19 of Revelation, it seems to a listener in Centerville, Michigan, that the rapture of the church is referred to here. He asks for Dr. McGee's thoughts on this passage.
Now, let me read this passage that you have referred to. It's Revelation 14:14. He says, "And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sword. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to them that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle in the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God." May I say to you, if you would go back to Isaiah, you'd find that Isaiah spoke here of the winepress that would be trodden by the Son of God. And it speaks of judgment, and this is judgment here of the earth after the church is removed. The church is not in this scene at all. May I give you what I believe is a good rule for the studying of Scripture, and that is in the book of Revelation to recognize the divisions that are given to us. He was told to write the things that you have seen, the things that are, and the things that shall be after these things. And in Revelation 1, you have the vision that he saw. And that was the vision of the glorified Christ as he is today at God's right hand. That's where he is right now. Then the second division, the things that are. And that's where we are today, the things that are. And that's in Revelation 2 and 3, and you have 7 churches. 7 is not the number of perfection, but the number of completeness. And you have there the complete history of the church. And when you come to the end of chapter 3 and begin chapter 4, the church has gone to heaven. It's removed from the earth. And you do not see the church again from chapter 4 on till out of heaven there comes the church, but it's now a bride, you see. And to get up to heaven, it had to go there sometime, and it left when John says in the 4th chapter, verse 1, he was caught up to heaven. He saw things there. Then he saw what was taking place on the earth, and it was judgment upon the earth, and it's judgment all the way through till eternity begins. And then when eternity begins, he sees coming out of heaven the New Jerusalem, the abode of the church, the place where the church is going, the eternal abode of the church, if you please. Now, with that kind of a general outline, it's very easy to turn to a passage like this and know that we're not talking about the church. You don't have to look for the church here. It's not here at all. And to begin with, it's judgment. And the church is not promised judgment except the judgment seat of Christ to see whether we receive a reward. No Christian will ever be judged to see whether he's saved or not. He is. Now, these judgments are judgments upon the unsaved and an unsaved world down here. And that's the picture, by the way, that's given to us, I think.